Okay, today we're going to look at a inverter microwave oven, about 900 watts, heating up some water for about 40 seconds. Test the electromagnetic frequency coming out of the unit. Turn the device on. I'm about 3.5 feet back. As you can see, you get within 3 feet of this unit on each side of it, and it's definitely off the charts here. 6 feet back, 7 feet. You have to get back at least 6.5 feet to get out of the zone here. And then you can see the microwave go off. So definitely don't sit there and look inside the microwave oven while you're cooking your food, because you're getting a fairly high charge coming out of this unit. Okay, next we're going to be going by our fridge. About 3 feet back, there was the microwave earlier. Now we're going to look at a side-by-side fridge. And I'm within about 2 feet of the device now. No EMF whatsoever, with the compressor turned off. Okay, we'll go back to the fridge. Remember, we tested it without any compressor running, and now we're going to test it with the compressor running. The compressor is on this side, so you can see it's pushing out some pretty good juice. I'm back about 2 feet. And then about 2.5 feet, it finally starts going down, but you got to get back almost 4 feet before you're totally out of the field. So you definitely don't want to set a chair up on this side of the fridge, back in there where the compressor is, because it's got a pretty good charge. Towards the front of the fridge, very little reading, within a foot. Get within right on the handle, you got a little bit of a reading. Over on the side here, very little, because the compressor's on the other side. So generally speaking, you'll just be walking by this, so it won't be a lasting charge, but you definitely don't want to set up a desk or something right next to your fridge here. And then we'll look at the electric oven stovetop and see what happens when we put it on high. Right now the unit's on. I'm not getting any kind of signal. Then I put the unit on. Obviously it starts going off pretty quick. Just back up 2 feet. Right about 3 feet, it pretty much goes away. Come back in about 2 feet, 1 foot. About a foot away from the oven, you can see that there's a pretty high electromagnetic field. So you really don't want to stand in front of that burner for too long. A little bit's not going to hurt, but if you sit there for hours at a time, you're going to get quite a bit of electromagnetic frequency. Turn it off, and there you go. And here we are looking at a smart TV screen, flat screen, and let's see how much electromagnetic frequency we can get out of this by about 6 inches, and it starts picking up a pretty good field on this side. Towards the center of the screen, there's really nothing. And then on the right side, there's no reading at all, really. All the power is on the left side here. So you get within about 6 inches, and the field picks up quite high, but as soon as you back up about 8 to 10 inches, it pretty much goes away, the field does. Stay back about 1.5 feet and you're pretty much out of the EMF zone. So you definitely don't want to sit within probably 3 feet of the screen, even though it's not like the old screens. Okay, we're looking at a Mac 32-inch screen desktop, and we'll see what kind of EMF we can pick up off the screen here. It's going up around 2. Down to the bottom, it's giving me more of a reading. 6 inches off. It goes down to about 1. It's a lot hotter on the perimeters. But if I go back about 2 feet, 2.5 feet, I'm pretty much out of the field. There's a little bit. So it's probably better to maybe go back 3 feet or so. And then you can completely take yourself out of the field. Then you have your dryer. Okay, let's check this. Back about 2 feet. Not getting much of a signal here. Interesting. I've got to go back about a foot. So surprisingly, the dryer's not pumping out nearly as much EMF as some of the other appliances. As soon as you go back about a foot, you're pretty much out of the field. Let me go to the side. Okay, we're looking at the electric panel, and one thing you have to remember here, I am not picking up anything from that smart meter with this particular device. This is only measuring the electromagnetic frequency from the electrical current. But this is something that you need to really pay attention to. You should never have a bed or something right in behind this electric panel, because this thing will pump out quite a bit of EMF. Let's go ahead and measure it. And I don't have any, depends on how much electricity is actually running in your house. If you don't have that many appliances running, of course, it's not going to show as much EMF. But if you have an electric heater going or something like that, it's going to really pump out the electricity in the electromagnetic frequency. A lot through the meter base. A lot of the power's going through the meter base. And over on this side here. Generally speaking, you want to stay as far away from this as you can if you have sleeping quarters or a desk or anything else on the other side of the wall, or even if you have outside furniture set up next to it. Okay, let's work with a electric heater, simulated fireplace, and turn this device on. About 2 feet away right here. Right in front of it. Let's back up about 3 feet. Even at 3 feet, you're still getting a pretty good charge. It's mostly down lower. If you're sitting down, it would be right about at your hip level. And all different sides. It's mostly coming straight out in front. Right in front of it's where the biggest intense power is. So if you're going to sit there all winter long with this thing blaring, you might want to at least back it up at least 3 feet so you're not getting such an intense level of EMF. Okay, here's a Mac laptop, something that we all use from time to time. And they call it a laptop for a reason. A lot of people actually put it in their lap. I would highly recommend against that. I'll show you why. We got our meter. Put it by the keyboard towards the bottom. This thing is pretty hot right there where the keyboard is, where the battery is. The screen itself isn't putting out too much energy. It's mostly the bottom and the top of the keyboard where the battery is, where it's pumping out most of the electromagnetic frequency. Notice that I have it hardwired in with an Ethernet cable. I do not have Wi-Fi on. Again, this is not picking up Wi-Fi. It's only picking up the electricity, the electromagnetic field from the electricity. But this is why you probably don't want to have this thing sitting on your lap for hours at a time. Put it up on some kind of a platform, whatever. Get it at least, as soon as you get about a foot away, it pretty much goes away, the field. So you don't have to get it that far away to take yourself out of a potentially dangerous field if you do it long term.